welcome to Love Island, the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast. This morning we are joined by the fantastic Amy Hart and this week's special guest, Joe Baggs.
Later on, we will be talking to the Casa Amor girls, but first, Uma. And Will. Sorry, and Will. Uma and Will. They're sadly along with us.
Yeah, it was a lot. Do you know what? It was a tough watch last night.
It was a tough watch.
I nearly cried.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot of emotions.
Right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So,
let's do it.
Uma and Will. So, Ruben came into the villa, chatted to a few people, really liked Uma. He had to steal someone. And as sometimes happens in Love Island, when you get stolen, your partner gets dumped from the island, which is what happened to Uma and Will, because Uma was stolen. But Uma made quite a bolshy decision. She didn't even go away and think about it. She just said, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
She went with her gut, didn't she?
Yeah.
I think she went with her heart. Not just she went with her head and her heart in that
everything
moment.
came over
Every
her in
emotion.
that moment.
Yeah.
My heart's broken for her.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because she's in love.
Yeah.
But I just feel heartbroken that her experience has ended so
This way.
abruptly, you know?
Yeah.
I thought they'd make it to the final. I genuinely did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like regardless of who Uma was with, she would have made it to the final.
Yeah.
Because she's a fantastic girl. And I
Yeah.
feel like we all, as viewers, watched that journey. And it's quite tough. And I'm not going to lie, at a point, I put my hands up. I definitely thought that her and Will were going to overcome the Casa situation.
Agreed.
Until he had the floor to apologise in the most perfect way. And he didn't. So, you know, seeing this has now affected Uma's journey, it's quite tough to see.
I think she was probably right to leave because nobody wants a fun sponge. Nobody wants someone just sitting around the daybeds crying all
Not the
day.
fun sponge.
And I think if she's found what she's looking for, and I think it actually shows her character a lot because there's so much now about, nobody's in there for love.
Yeah.
Everyone's in there for brand deals and stuff. But
Agreed.
it shows that quite clearly she was very genuine because she didn't have to leave. She could have stayed there, been in a friendship couple with Ruben or even pursued something with Ruben. But she was like, no, I found what I'm looking for. I do think it's a lot of pressure on Will now. Uma has given up one of the biggest opportunities that, you know, not everyone gets to do. And she's given that up for Will. So he will never be able to dump her now. He's just going to have to become so annoying that she dumps him.
Like, do you think he wanted that pressure? Because in the moment, he was giving that, like, are you sure? Are you certain? Rather than like, I want you to stay. I want you to have this experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As we've said before, if you're going to behave that way in Casa when you've literally got 55 TV cameras on you, what are you going to be like when you're actually on a lad's holiday? And he was the one that actually said the phrase, I'm on a lad's holiday.
And it wasn't a real lad's holiday.
Yeah.
It was Casa Amor.
Yeah.
So when he actually goes on a real life lad's holiday.
I know.
Fundamentally, what we're saying is we love Uma.
Absolutely.
And if she loves Will, then we love
we
Will.
love Will.
I am just worried. Like I say, I feel for him because now that's a lot of pressure on him. Now, the girls did take her up to the terrace. Jess was like, right, this is my moment. I've got the gift of the gab. I'm going to try and make her stay. She did fail. If we were in there, what advice would we have given Uma?
This is the first time probably this series I've actually kind of agreed with Jess. Can I say that? I'm just going to say it. I would have said the exact same thing as Jess said, honestly.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think touching on what Jess said, Will had his experience in Casa Amor. He did what he did. Like, this is kind of now your Casa Amor, but in the main villa. I'm not saying you need to go out and explore, but have an experience. Enjoy your time. And if it's meant to be, it will be. And he can wait for you on the outside the same way you waited for him when you were in Casa Amor.
I agree. I think the biggest test now could have been that he waits outside. And then that's the love story that we see. So she comes out, he waited. We saw our arc of getting over this horrible part of her journey.
Yeah.
But she's kind of left at a low. Like, they've had, what, one good day together?
That's a week in Love Island time.
I know, honey, but I can't give that to her, you know?
I
think that's
don't
what
agree.
got her.
We know she's a slow burner. She's mentioned it a lot. And that was when she had nobody else she was interested in. So I think for her sake and Ruben's sake, I feel like Ruben was literally like climbing up a mountain trying to get to Uma.
Ruben, I can't
and
lie.
she's like throwing things at him to like push him down. But being a slow burner when there was nobody else in there, I think with Will gone, she can't even see Will. That was a recipe for disaster. I think as much as it pains me, I do think she did make the right decision if that's how she feels. There's only 2.5 weeks left.
A lot could have happened. That spark of Ruben did
But
seem
if
genuine.
she's really got her heart set and she's just going to be crying all day
Also-
every day. Like, and also, she could have either gone tonight with him or tomorrow afternoon. She could have gone,
I
do you know
agree.
what? Actually, no, I should have gone home. And then it's like, oh, so you didn't want to come with me straight away? Like,
Yeah, I agree. And as a slow burner, you know, if she started with Ruben, she would have been there till All Stars.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be able to pay the rent for that long. So She had to go now.
Exactly.
She had to go now. Well, do you know what, guys? That means we're going to see Umar soon.
Amazing. So I cannot wait. And
Will. Guys, don't forget Will. Don't
we can
forget
squeeze
Will.
his spots on his back.
You guys
you can.
are gross. You guys are gross.
A heat wave has struck the island, and no, we are not talking about the Casa bombshells. It's time to debrief on the islanders' fire fits with headline sponsor eBay. Casa Amor equals surprises, and seeing Jess in the rat and boa dress was my type on paper. The legacy runs deep, with the stunning dress previously being worn by Arabella in All Stars, Ella in Series 10 and Sammy in Series 9. For glam movie and date nights to drinks with the girlies, gotta love the versatility. Kieran got lucky with Ellie, Lucy and Emma during raunchy races. Clearly it had everything to do with that sexy Jacquemus tea. Finally, feelings blossomed for Jess and Io when he whisked her away to the hideaway in his iconic Levi's jeans. Could they be boyfriend material? And that's a wrap on these red-hot pre-love looks. Discover more villa inspiration on eBay. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. So, yesterday, the Casa boys joined us for breakfast and Messiah told us that he is waiting for Grace. And this morning, we've got some new guests for breakfast. We've got the Casa girls with us. We're going to find out exactly what they think about Uma and Will and, of course, their experience in Casa Amor. Joining us now, we have Diamonté, Ruby and Lucy. Hello, girls. How are you feeling?
Hi. Feeling good.
Feeling good. Now, can you describe your Love Island experience for me in 3 words, please?
I was just saying it was surreal. It was just amazing. Loved every minute.
I'd say exciting, surprising, because there's a lot of unexpected twists. And I'd have to say surreal as well.
I'd say chaotic, thrilling, and I'm going to say quick because it just flies by.
Well, girls, let's get straight into it. So I'm sure you all saw last night's episode where we had that shock dumping from Will, but we also saw that Umar left with him. So were you guys actually surprised by seeing that? And what advice would you give Umar if you were still there?
I was actually
yeah, all of us are probably shocked. I feel like we've all got the same emotions about it. I just feel a bit emotional for Uma because obviously we was there at the recoupling and you can see her feelings are genuine, but it's just such an emotional roller coaster being in there, as you know. But yeah, I do feel a bit sorry for her in a way.
I was literally sitting there crying.
Yeah.
Because it's just you know that thing when someone else cries and now it sets you off?
Yeah.
And it's just too much emotion. It was just oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
I feel like if this had happened when they were a bit more rocky, right after Casa Amor, she wouldn't have thought about leaving. And she would have been, no, I'm here for myself. But I think because they've begun to rebuild that trust again, she's probably thought they've built back to where they were. But
yeah,
I thought, oh.
Lucy, you turn Will's head. Did you have a feeling you'd go back to Uma?
Yeah, but I just kept, because it was me that was having to ask about how he maybe thought Uma was feeling, or he would never mention her. So yeah, it was me that was kind of having to ask him where his head was at, because he was just giving it all to me, saying you're my type, you're good looking. We were speaking for ages, hours and hours on end. So yeah, it was just all of a sudden he kind of went a wee bit colder with me. That's when I thought maybe he's just realised actually my head is with Uma. So yeah, I was still shocked about it, but I was just thinking he's probably realised he's had a bit of fun and now he's just gone back to his home comfort basically.
Or his holiday.
Yeah, boys' holiday. I mean, do you feel like if the shoe was on the other foot and Uma was the one that got dumped, do you guys think that Will would have left with her?
No. And this is why I'm so sad for Uma.
If you had your time again, what would you have done differently in Casa?
A lot.
Just got to know the other boys a bit more.
Targeted Connor on day one.
I think I would have from when I started to see that Sean was just playing both sides, I do feel like I should have stepped back. But at the same time, as Casa girls, you're in there for a different reason. Your job is to go in there and turn heads. For me, now that I actually think back of it, it's just do you really want a man whose head can turn? No. Yeah. But it's just it's weird because as a Casa girl, you have to do it. I feel like everything happens for a reason and it's worked out the best for all of us.
I was a little bit shy on the first day, so I wish I wasn't as shy on the first day, just jumped in a bit more. But yeah, I just wish I got to know some of the other boys a little bit better.
On the outside, we're not used to going for boys. We're just for boys coming to us. So for it to switch roles, we were just sitting back, why are the boys not come to speak to us? But we shortly realised we had to go, obviously, get our graft on.
It's everyone kept asking me the whole build-up preparation. Are you nervous? Are you emotional? And I was like, no, cool as a cucumber. My nerves didn't set in until we literally walked in, sat on the sun deck, like the large sun deck, and I looked around. I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm here. Like I'm in the TV. Like I was going to everyone, we're in the TV. We're actually like on the set of Love Island. Yeah. And it was just so crazy. And obviously it's such an unnatural situation. You're not in a bar meeting someone. You're not getting chatted up. You haven't had a glass of wine and, you're letting your hair down. And it's just so crazy. And obviously they'd been there a lot longer than us. They knew how things had worked. And like, it's such an unnatural situation, but you've just got to jump in. And I just couldn't do it on the first day. But by the second day, I was fine.
Did you find the day two quite anticlimactic though? Because I remember the first day that I was in there, I was like, oh my God, I'm in the villa. Oh my God, it's like the initial pick. Oh my God, it's now like a party. We've got the bottle of Prosecco and the slow motion dancing and stuff. And the next day I woke up like, oh my God, I might have to be here for 8 weeks.
No, I kept saying to the girls on the first day, a lot of us had been up really early. I'd been up since 4 a.m. We got in the villa about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and we was filming till 4 a.m. So I'd done a whole 24 hours. I was adrenaline, emotional, tired, I don't do well with no sleep. And the girls got sick of me because I just kept saying, I've had enough. I'm not doing it. I'm going home.
So question for you guys, Lucy and Diamonté. I mean, in hindsight, do you maybe wish you explored other boys?
Yes. Obviously, I understand that Ellie and Trey have a connection now and everything. But back in time, I do wish that I had more of a conversation with Trey because of how pure he seems, how lovely and genuine he does seem. But obviously, I was just like, busy talking to everybody else. I kind of just like saved him for last and I just never got to it. We did have a very like brief chat, but it just never went anywhere. It wasn't flirty at all. It was just like regular chat. Yeah, I do wish that maybe Connor and I could have had like extra conversations.
I was going to ask, what is it about Connor? Because he was single going in there. He's a good looking boy. He seems really nice. What is it that is turning everyone off of Connor?
I don't know. I think it's the snoring because Connor snores and Emma does not like snoring.
Emma wears earplugs.
She wears earplugs and I don't think she could cope with the snoring any longer because other than that, I genuinely cannot think of any issues with Connor at all. He's too genuine. He's like nothing.
I would have thought he'd be like an easy target. I thought everyone would just go straight for him. But Diamonté, do you think Sean and Matilda will go the distance?
Obviously, I can see they have a connection and everything. And if it does work out for them, then good. But it's just like a thing of when Matilda is away, what's Sean going to do? Because obviously we've seen Casa and he had 2 girls on the go. So it's just a thing of if he does go on holiday or something, what's going to happen? That's the thing that we were just like,
And obviously you ladies know that Love Island isn't just about romantic connections. Would you say there's anybody else in that you guys are going to keep in touch with? Obviously you 3 yourselves, but any of the other Casa girls or maybe the main villa girls?
We already made a group chat, so we're just ask them one by one, to be honest. Even the Casa Amor boys, like they've been lovely.
Yeah.
We've been speaking to them quite a lot too. So it's just nice. I'll be in touch and obviously speaking to people that have the same experience as us. It's been really nice.
Well, thank you girls for joining us. You were amazing to watch. You brought all the drams. We loved it. And we wish you all the best. Casa Amor is notorious for its dramatic moments and shocking switches where islanders have to make tough decisions and do what's right for them. So we're counting down the best Sky Mobile Mimii moments, Casa Amor edition. This girl knows what she wants, and in 3rd place, we have Jess speaking facts.
I know what my type is, and it's that.
Now, Jess may have mentioned that she is the prize, and I love how confident she is, and she always knows exactly what she wants, and she's gonna get it. Coming in at number 2, we have Sean, the sweet salesman, selling himself to Ruby.
I'm the mature man you need.
Yes, Sean, you are mature cheddar. And at number 1, Professor Jess S. manifests.
I believe in the law of attraction. What you put out, you will attract. What you manifest, you will attract. What you think, feel and speak, you will attract.
Understood.
And I think about Io.
I mean, if that's what she's been manifesting since week 1, she is a master manifester because he ran straight after her. Unlike Casa Amor, Sky Mobile offers hassle-free switching. Simply text to switch and embrace your me energy. So Mimii and Josh, let's talk about it.
Mimii and Josh.
The villa's hottest new couple. And they are hot. If you think how long it took her to kiss Io, he asked her on the first night, do you need to kiss her? She said no. He asked her again the next day. She said no. Then they had that nice kiss. But Josh was like, handshake. She went, no. He did the handshake again and was like, okay then.
Yeah.
And then in the hot tub, oh my God, I'm overcome.
It was a good watch. I feel like they have a lot of chemistry straight away. And he's just got different Briz. He's got a lot of sauce. He's not too like over the top. He's not forceful. He's just smooth with it.
The atmosphere's electric.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
Mimii actually played Marcy in Greece, I saw in an article before she went in the villa. And I feel like she's taken a lot of inspiration from Sandy. Because she was like good Sandy with Io and was a bit like, I'm a slow burner. And now she's come back as bad Sandy.
In the latex.
With the latex, yeah. She's like, you better shape up because I need a man.
Yeah.
I think this is proof that you really ride off someone's vibes when you start dating.
Yeah.
And you really reciprocate energy.
Yeah.
And I think where he went in really hard, she was like, do you know what?
Yeah.
If I don't do this now, I never will.
Yeah.
And after what she's been through in the villa, I think she owed it to herself.
Yeah.
And to us as the fans and the viewing public to give us a show.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did. And that hot tub moment, do you know what? I love a guy that's a bit like, let's do this. It's cheeky. Like,
yeah, do you know what it was? I love the way he was just showering her with compliments.
Yeah.
He was like, you look fantastic. I can't believe you're not a model. Like,
but it wasn't cringy.
It wasn't cringe.
It wasn't
was just
cringy.
like, he was just appreciating having a gorgeous woman in front of him.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Drinks. The way we had the drink. I hope you like kiwi. I would have been flat out by then. I love kiwi.
Do you slice or do you cut the top
Honey,
off?
if he was giving it to me, I would do whatever. I'd be eating that with fur on. Do you know what I mean?
Love it. We've talked about before, like Mimii and Io, both great people, but did they bring out the zing in each other? And quite clearly they didn't. Because we've seen a whole new Mimii. There could have been a danger of her getting dumped because we weren't seeing that personality.
Agreed.
We weren't seeing much from her.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that she's managed to stick it out and now she can really blossom and show us the real her.
Can I ask you both something though? Do you feel a tiny bit sad for Mimii that her experience was tainted at the start by that behaviour with Io? Because I feel like now I've seen what she's actually like. She's amazing and we've all seen it from the start. But I don't feel like it was brought out of her, you know? So I felt a bit sad.
It's
I was
a
like,
journey.
It's a journey.
It's a Love Island journey.
True.
And it's a roller
journey.
coaster, ups and downs. And I think, you know, she needed to go through that thing with Io because we know her story. We're emotionally invested. We've seen her be wronged
It's made
by
her who she
Io.
is today.
So we've made her who she is today and we want her to do well. We're all emotionally invested in her story. And if she hadn't have had that, if she'd just been like sort of cruising, she either wouldn't still be here or we wouldn't be that invested.
Yeah,
and I think, I mean, I love them, but Kieran and Nicole obviously coupled up sort of day 3 and they're getting to the point now where it's a bit like we don't see them very often and the only time we see them is when they're arguing.
you don't see many highs with them at the minute. Whereas I think with Mimii, we've seen a lot of highs.
Because their highs are just them sitting, coaching on the daybed because there's no drama. And like I've been in that situation as well where your roller coaster is very like, oh my God, are we going to get together? Oh, we are going to get together. Oh, I've never met anyone like you. No, right. And then it's like, oh, can we half boyfriend, half girlfriend? And then it's like, and now we just coexist.
We're married.
We're
literally.
married.
I think she needed that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's safe to say Io has now recoupled with Jessica. And I've seen the change in him in the sense where he seems more bubbly.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
they match each other's energy. And I think it just goes to show that they were just obviously not meant for each other.
They weren't meant for each other.
They brought out different sides, not the sides that we needed to see. You know, but we've got Io at this moment admitting that he's maybe not fully over Mimii. I mean, what do we think about that? It's a bit...
Woulda, coulda, the last words
like
before
the girl
is what
said,
I think of that.
Io who...
I'm glad Mimii is a strong girly that stuck to her word because it would have been so easy to fold and be like, actually, I'm going to graft for him back. It would have.
Yeah, it would
we've
have.
seen it happen before with others.
Yeah.
And especially with the Uma's situation with Will. And I think I'm just glad that she waited.
Yeah.
And now there's someone in there for her, you know? They can crack on.
I mean, there is someone that could derail this master plan, this fairy tale that we are pitching.
Don't say it, Amy.
Grace. She pulled Josh for a chat.
Yeah.
I mean, do we think Grace ever had to go after a bloke before?
I can't imagine.
She's
her
been
crafting.
doing it a lot in Love Island, though.
But can you
she?
see that in a London club? Like,
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No.
But I think it's safe to say Grace likes what she likes.
it's bold.
It's bold.
Yeah.
And it's probably just one of those things where you miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Love
Agreed.
Island at the end of the day. She said to Emma, oh, should I do it? Emma said, do you know what? Just do it. She did it.
Yeah.
They had a chat.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he didn't choose with the recoupling. However, we did notice at that recoupling speech, Josh said a few things that I thought he could have kept to himself. He mentioned that, he did like more than one girl. Now, do we think it's good to be honest, or that kind of ruined the buzz in the moment a little bit?
I mean, look, I love watching Love Island where I get that like butterfly where I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. And I feel like he was just, for those around the fire pit, for those of us at home, he was adding a few more layers of drama. And I'm here for it, I mean, not great for Mimi, but for us as the viewer, we were like, where's he going with this?
No, I do get it. I'm here for that 100%. But I'm also like, come on, just be like, just give her this.
Give her this one moment.
I feel like sometimes they do it to kind of act up to the boys too. Yeah. And I'm like, but you're not going to share a bed with the boys. Yeah. You're going to share a bed with this girl, you know?
Like, do you ever on like TV singing competitions where they've been like, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to go home and repack your cake.
That's how it feels.
The next round.
That's like, how it feels. Like that. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, it's nostalgic. Yeah. We love it. I mean, he's 29. He's the glory days of the TV singing contest.
I think, quite frankly, we saw how they were in the Hideaway Retreat. They had a kiss, had a nice jacuzzi moment. He owes it to himself explore, but I'll be very surprised if he does start to get to know Grace in a romantic way, because he did come in saying, look, I've got eyes for Mimi. Mimi is who I want. Yeah. So for you to give her 100% energy just like that, and then to kind of swindle because somebody else has come around. Mimi did say to him, I like somebody who is all for me. So you know what she likes. Yeah. So don't even try and act like you don't know what Mimi is about.
Yeah, I think he entertained Grace for that one chat. Yeah. I don't think he'll continue to do it now, especially after this coupling.
And I think will just try to keep her on her toes, just that little bit. Just a little bit of...
Enough. But,
And also, she saw him chatting to Grace. Yeah. So maybe it gives her a bit of a boost as well, because it's like, I have, got connections with two people, but the winner is...
Exactly.
You.
She needs that boost,
exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like good on Grace for...
Giving it a go.
Yeah, for giving it a go. But it was giving casting call. Like, who do you model for? Yeah. It was very much like, he just sat there in silence, bewildered. Yeah. And I think he was shocked that she pulled him, to be honest with you. But I rated it, but I don't think he'll be... going back.
And when she listed all the qualities that she likes in a man, there was quite a lot of tick boxes. I'm like, maybe this is why you keep going from guy to guy, because there was quite a lot.
I can keep up with that, truly.
Okay, guys, we did see Mimii and Josh had a little cute kiss and they made a secret handshake. So I wanted to know if you guys have any like cute little gestures with your partners.
I mean, I don't have a handshake, but we do always sing randomly the Home and Away theme tune to each other, because it's We Belong Together, you and I forever and ever.
Oh, that's really cute.
We like sing it jokingly, like dance around the kitchen. But I saw on TikTok, someone had it at their wedding as the hymn, and literally everyone was going crazy. So I put on X, do you know the Home and Away theme tune and how old are you? To get like a straw poll to see if people are going to know it. But I feel like I want it as the hymn at our wedding.
I think that's quite fancy and cool. What about you, Joe?
I actually don't. I don't really do handshakes. My love language is food.
Oh, give me a high five. So that's what mine is.
My man made me a fish finger crunch wrap the other day in bed, and it was incredible.
Talk me through that. I know fish finger, but the crunch.
Has it got
tartar
Doritos in it?
Right.
Fish fingers, cheese, coleslaw, crunchy tortilla like on top of that. Right. Then in a pan so it's crisped up. Guys,
oh, wow.
That to me is better than a handshake. But they can't do that in the villa. So
no,
are you a handshake or are you a hugger? Say like when we met like the production team for this podcast, right? People put their hand out to me and I go to hug.
Yeah, I'm a hugger.
Do you think it's because we're in the entertainment industry and everyone's a lovey?
Do you think that's why?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just
darling, double kiss, double kiss.
I am not a double kiss, but I come across a lot of double kisses, but I'll just obviously go along with it. But I'm a hugger because I just like to make people feel comfortable. Yeah. But then sometimes I hug someone, I'm like, oh, do they think I'm like being a bit too sexual or something?
I thought that.
Do you know what I mean?
I think double kiss sometimes, like, there's a lot that can go wrong.
I don't ever do a double kiss, but when someone gives me a double kiss, obviously I know how to play along with it. Yeah. But I'm just a hugger because I'm like, go on, let's feel love.
I love a hug. I have to be in it for the hug, like instigate it. If someone comes up to me and hugs me, I'm stiff as a rock. Is that even an expression?
Stiff as a board.
Stiff as a board. Stiff as a board.
Yeah. Right, team, give us a high five. Yes! We will be back tomorrow morning. And a big thanks to the Casa girls.
Don't forget to subscribe and spread the word. And thank you for all your lovely comments. We read all of them. You're amazing. We love you.
We love you.
Thank you.